Hey everybody, welcome to Yeah Buddy. Today I'm going to show you how to put handles on your cabinet doors or doors for your entertainment center. I have this giant IKEA system here that we're kind of turning into something more than just IKEA. So we bought some doors from Semi-Handmade. We bought some doors from Semi-Handmade and we have some custom handles for it. Right now I have to drill holes to put those handles in. So let's go check it out. All right, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is find your door, figure out where you're gonna put the handle and where you like the handle placed. Most people suggest with these sort of pull handles that you're gonna wanna place them, anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 inches from the corner. So you'd measure down, 2.5, right? From here, you'd want it kind of square, and then 3.5. But you're not just gonna measure every single door because you probably have about 12 of them to put on. Excuse the mess. What you're gonna do is find a template of sorts. Some people suggest paper templates. I like to use a wood template. It's a little more rigid, but what you'll wanna do is put a protective layer, you'll see that in a little bit, between your door and the actual wood block. But I grabbed this wood template, it's rigid. I measured 2.5 over, 2.5 down, and then my pull knobs are 5 inches long, so I did the same there, 2.5 over. I used a combination of my speed square to measure the 2.5 over, and that's really nice because eventually you get your 2.5, you can draw nice straight lines down the edge. But then to just check my measurements, I used a jankety old tape measure that I'd recommend getting a better one than this, but this is just the one I've had for years. So that I just double, triple checked your measurements, and you're certainly gonna wanna do that on your template. But right now I'm gonna drill some holes. Let's go drill some holes in this template. You grab a couple of things, got some people in the background having a great time. So I'm gonna grab these clamps, these clips, so that I can keep my board a little steady while I do the first one. In order to find the right size of drill that you want to use, you'll want to kind of pair it up against the screws, right? So you got to figure out this versus this, and when you line them up, you'll want to see a little bit of teeth of the screw or bolt showing through, so that this is not too small nor too big. So let's drill through. Right. My battery is almost dead on there. You'll want to do this with a full battery, which I'll do for the doors. There we go. Helps if you have it going the right way. Imperfect hold. There we go. Cool. All right, so you can see I've got 4 holes drilled in here. My first set, Starker line, didn't go as planned. The drill battery was not fully charged, so when I drilled, they came off center a little bit. So I decided to remeasure, drill 2 new holes on the other side of the board. So I'll just end up flipping it over like that when I put it on. You'll see in a minute. But after I drilled these, and after you drill holes in your template, you're gonna want, or if you can buy templates out there too, and all sorts of different things. But if you don't have one, you can always use this board. You'll always want to remeasure your holes just to make sure that it does fit. And actually, then grab your hardware and do a test run. See if it fits on there. It looks like it fits on there. Indeed, it does. You can also put your bolts through these holes, which I'm not going to do because I want a tight fit and I don't want to loosen these holes up any more than I have to. Okay, so here's where this square template's going to really matter, so that you can line it up with the edges of your doors. I also have a piece of cardboard or something, soft-ish, that you can put underneath, because when I put these clips on, they're pretty strong, and the last thing I want to do is pay a lot for these doors and then damage them right away by putting these clips on. So since the clip is going to clip underneath, you can also use a piece of wood or something else, and there is a protective film over them, which is how they came, and that's really so that that'll be nice to protect the top end. So I'm going to just temporarily put that on, and then I'm going to adjust it to the top, and the side a little bit here, just so it's square with the house. But just because I am super paranoid, I'm gonna measure one more time, just from the edge, just to make sure that we're good to go. Okay, folks, pretty straightforward on this step. Grab your drill through the front side of the cabinet door. You know, line up your drill with the holes that you've pre-drilled in your template, and that's about it. Second thing that I would mention is make sure as you're lining up your template and drilling through the cabinet door that you drill through the front to the back and not back to the front, because as you'll see in just a second, the direction of travel, so on this front side, it's pretty clean. These holes are very clean, but if you were to look on the back side of this board, you're gonna see a little bit of a, you know, almost like an explosion look. And so if you did that on the front side, you would really damage the... It's kind of like a new refrigerator door. I also suspect with this plastic liner on, with the doors a lot. Now it's time to put your screws, handle screws, through the back side of the cabinet door. And since you got kind of tight holes, I use the drill to get them through, to get them started anyway. And since you need these screws to hold on to a handle on the other end, you're not going to want to drill them all the way through. You're just going to want to line them up to where they're flush with the front side of the cabinet door. Now I'm going to spin around this door so that you can see what's going on. Okay, so now that you got those both screws flush with the front side, grab your handle and line it up with both screws so that the screws can basically just head right on in to your handle. And now you're not going to want to use the drill fully to tighten up the screws into the handle. You're going to eventually want to hand tighten them with a screwdriver. Otherwise, you may strip the wood or the screw or otherwise damage your door. You should just be able to repeat that method over and over again for all the doors that you have using that same template, so that if at least one of them is off, they're all going to be off together. I thought that this one was going to be about an 1/8 of an inch off center, but you can't really tell, at least I can't in my estimation. I appreciate everybody watching. Take a minute to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more how-to videos. Yeah, buddy.